Hello friends, we will be covering the following in this video. Refraction, Snell's law, refraction through different medium, principle of reversibility of light, apparent depth, refractive slab, refractive through a glass slab, TIR, that is total internal reflection, diamonds, the TIR in diamonds, optical fiber cables, mirage, turning with prisms. When a light ray enters a different medium, it changes its direction. This is called refraction. Here we have two mediums. This is say medium 1 and this is say medium 2. What do we mean by the word medium? Say medium is like air, water, anything. So maybe this is medium 1 is different than medium 2. As the two mediums are different, the velocity of ray changes when it enters. See, the velocity of the ray when it enters, these two mediums are different. That is why the change in velocity results in the bend. So this ray, instead of going straight, will bend down over here. It bends a little. So velocity results in bend from ray original direction. This change is called refraction. The ray in front medium is called, in this medium, in the first medium, is called the incident ray. And when it enters the second medium, this part of the ray is called refracted ray. If we draw a perpendicular line between the two mediums, if we draw a perpendicular line between the two mediums, we can name it normal. So this medium we'll call it normal. Then the angle between the normal, this normal and the ray is called the incident angle. This angle is incident angle. And similarly, the angle between the normal and the refracted ray, this is called refracted angle, refracted ray. Okay. So if ray moves from rarer to denser medium, it will move towards normal. Suppose it has to move from here. This medium was say rarer and this medium was denser. So this is the normal. So what will happen if a ray moves from rarer to denser? It will move towards normal. So it will come closer to the normal. And if the first medium, say it was denser and this was rarer, then it will move away from the normal. From this medium, from this normal, it will move away. Okay. In first case, rarer medium to denser medium, its speed decreases or it slows down. In second medium, denser to rarer medium, ray speed increases. Okay. Refractive index, the term refractive index defines how much a light ray can be bent. How much a light ray can be bent when it enters from one medium to the other medium. So refractive index, power to bend. Okay. So we can say refractive index is power to bend. It can be further explained by Snell's law, which is mu equals to sin I by sin r, which is equal to velocity 1, which is of the medium 1 by velocity 2. Okay. So when it's in this medium, that is the time velocity 1, and when the ray is here, the velocity 2 of that medium. We have two laws of refraction of light: the incident ray, the refracted ray, the normal to the interface. Okay, so all three, the incident ray, the refracted ray and the normal, they all lie in the same plane. They all three are in the same plane at the time of incident. Second law of refraction is called Snell's law. This is the ratio. This is the ratio of sin I by sin r. So here we can say mu equals to sin I by sin R. Reversibility rule. The principle defines that the path a ray takes after several reflection and refraction is reversed back. It traces the path exactly. So if the ray comes like this and we send the ray back in the same, it will follow the same path. Path from this point here and all the way down will be the same if we go backward. Okay. For example, if a path of ray was say AB, then if we retrace it, that is with the help of a torch resend it back, we observe that the light exactly takes the same path. So if this is A and this is B, so the path it follows, if we keep a torch here, it will follow from one medium to the other. This is the path it follows, and we put the torch here. Exactly same path it will retrace. We observe that the light exactly takes the same path. It follows the same path going and coming. So AB and reverse path BA. So we can say sine alpha by sine beta equals to say mu 1 2. Then what will be mu 2 1? It will be sine beta by sine alpha by Snell's law. Here we have taken three different mediums: air, water and glass. This is air, water, glass, and air is common here. So air. So air, water, glass, air. Please note the first medium here is air denoted by M1. The medium 2, which is water, denoted by M2. Medium 3 by M3 and then M1 repeated. Okay. The angle between incident ray, this is the incident ray, and the normal is alpha. Refracted, when it gets refracted here, the angle is beta. So we can write mu, which is the refractive index, mu 2 1 is equal to sine alpha by sine beta. Similarly, here beta will be the incident ray entering from water to glass. So this is the glass. So this becomes refracted ray gamma. Here we can write a refractive index of 3 by 2, mu 3 2 equals to sine beta by sine gamma. Okay. Similarly, this will become the incident ray entering from glass to air. So this becomes sine gamma by sine alpha, which is equal to mu 1 3. We know multiplying 1 2 3 together, so we know 1 equals to mu 2 1 into mu 3 2 into mu 1 3. So we can if we want to take out the value for only mu 3 2, then we can bring it on one side and we can write mu 3 2 equals to 1 by, the leftover is 1, mu 2 1 into mu 1 3. Okay. Now comes the apparent depth. Due to refraction of light, the apparent depth of an object placed in a denser medium is less than the real depth. When the object in a denser medium is seen through a rarer medium, its image is seen at I instead of O. So if we take this as a tumbler filled with water. So when this tumbler is filled with water, what we notice is that instead of seeing the image here, if we place a coin here, so we do not see the image here, we are seeing it here. When the object in a denser medium is seen through a rarer medium, its image is seen at I. This is the place where the image is I instead of O. Here we have placed a coin at the bottom of the container at point O. The incident ray from O is I as shown. This is the incident ray from O. This is the incident ray which is going. This is where the water gets over. This is the level of the water. So here it gets refracted. we place our eyes, okay, our eyes in line with OA direction. So if we place our eyes here, so what we observe at that moment, we observe the coin image is formed at, from here when we see the image is here. But when we place our eyes here, okay, at that point we see the image to be, we observe the image to be at point I instead of O. So this is called apparent depth. So IA, this is this depth, this deep inside is called apparent depth, and from the point here A where the water level finishes, from that point all the way to O will be the real depth. Okay, let me show this one time in the animation to you, then we will do the formulas. Okay, one second. Here, once we are seeing it from this angle, when we see it from here, this is the real depth. When it reflects back, we see the coin to be here. Okay, just look it again. When we backtrack the ray, the object is seen at this level. So the object image is formed at the apparent depth. Okay, this is the real image. Mu equals to sin I by sin R. In sin AOB, which will be equal to AB by BO, sin AIB, in this triangle AIB, it will be sin will be AB by BI. AB gets cancelled, we are left with BI by BO. So here it becomes BO by BI, which is the real depth by the apparent depth. Okay, why are we taking BO as the real depth? Because we are considering this to be very close to almost A. Okay, so we are considering OB as OA. So it becomes, the formula becomes real depth by apparent depth is equal to mu. Okay. Refraction through a rectangular glass slab with thickness T. This is a glass slab in which the thickness is T. As we know, refraction takes place only at the interface. Whenever object will refract, only at the surface, only at the interface. We will study the ray PQRS. PQRS is the path. Okay. RM is the lateral difference. What it means is the ray was supposed to go like this originally if the ray was coming. But because there are two different mediums, air and glass, it will have refraction. This is the bend. So from the original and what is actually it is doing, this difference is called lateral displacement. Qn is the thickness. This is the total thickness of the slab and the value is T. In triangle, in which triangle? In triangle QMR, sin I minus R can be written as RM by RQ. In triangle QNR, cos R can be written as Qn by RQ. So if we bring RQ on the same side, both the equation, we can write RM by sin I minus R will be equal to Qn by cos R. We know the value of Qn is T. So the lateral difference RM formula will become T into sin I minus I by R by cos R. Okay. Here again, if you see, this is the diagram showing this was the original path it could have followed. But because these are two different mediums, the line gets refracted at this point. It comes here. Again, at this, it gets refracted. So this distance is called lateral and we have derived the formula previously. So lateral shift is directly proportional to thickness of the glass slab. Lateral shift is directly proportional to the incident angle. Okay, lateral shift is directly proportional to refractive index of the glass slab. Lateral shift is directly proportional to wavelength of the incident ray. Coming on to TIR, that is total internal reflection. When light passing through denser to rarer medium, there is a value of incident angle for which the angle of refraction is 90 degree. This angle of incidence is called critical angle. Okay, suppose this ray 1, it will get little refracted here. If this ray 2 was coming in this angle, it will get refracted further. This line of incident was coming here, it will get further refracted. Now similarly 4 and 5 will get refracted, but there will be a point where this line is completely reflected instead of being refracted. Okay, because it will keep coming down. So this angle is called the critical angle and the refraction is 90. So incident ray is critical angle and the refraction is 90. If angle of incidence is increased beyond C, that is the critical angle, then the ray reflect in the same medium. It comes back in the same medium. This phenomena is called total internal reflection. Here we have two mediums, medium 1 and medium 2. When ray 1 from medium 1 passes through medium 2, it will refract. Similarly, if we change the angle of this ray, then it will again refract for ray 2. Similarly, for ray 3, it will refract. Eventually, at ray 6, in this case, the angle is called critical angle at which the ray will reflect back in its own medium, and this phenomena is called internal reflection. Okay, here I is equal to C, the critical angle, and R is equal to 90. So mu 12 will become sin I by sin R will become sin C, critical angle by sin 90. So we can write mu 12 equals to sin C or mu 21 equals to 1 by sin C. Now further we will see the application of TIR in diamonds, how the light is captured inside diamond, or we will see the optical fibers which are used these days for networking. Okay, how the light gets, the signals or light gets transmitted. So here we are covering application of TIR, that is total internal reflection in case of sparkling diamond. The refractive index of diamond is very large. Its critical angle is very small. What's the value for the critical angle of diamond? It's 24.4. What is the diamond can reflect? 66 rays, and critical angle is very small, 24.4. The refractive index of diamond is very large. Its critical angle is very small. The faces of diamond are so cut. The cuts. Okay. The faces are so cut that the light entering the crystal suffers. Total internal reflection. So it gets trapped inside. It's suffering. It cannot come out. Repeatedly, light gets arrested. The angle of cutting is 120 degree. So in this picture, the red line outline is the diamond face. Okay, and we can see this is the light has got trapped inside it, and this is called TIR. Optical fiber cable. Optical fiber cable, it is a hair-thin long strand of quality glass. It is used for transmitting signals. Other important applications are, it's used at various places like medical and optical examinations, transmitting and receiving electrical signals in telecommunication, transmission of pictures, measure blood flow in the heart in the form of refractor meters. They are used to measure refractive indexes of liquid. Again, an optical fiber is a thin fiber of glass that can carry light from one end to the other. We cover this with a material which has less refractive index for the protection so that it doesn't break. When light passes through it, the angle that it makes while touching the surface is almost 90, which is greater than critical angle, and the light ray is trapped and keeps on reflecting inside before it reaches the other end. So this is the reflection. It just keeps on and the light is trapped inside. It keeps on reflecting. In case the optical fiber is bent, we bend down. Still, the angle is greater than critical angle, so signal will remain trapped and will continue reflecting. This is the bend of the optical fiber. So you will see a lot of optical fibers spread throughout India now, and there is a program also launched by PM, which Sir Modi said that we will be taking the optical fibers even to the villages. Mirage. An optical illusion is caused by atmospheric conditions, especially the appearance of a sheet of water in a desert or on a hot road caused by refraction of light from the sky by heated air. So what happens here is the light travels from denser to rarer medium. Angle is larger than critical angle. When we backtrack on camel, we can see tree upside down. What happens? The air here near the surface is very hot in desert. So when the light is traveling, instead of coming the sunlight coming like this in the eye, it actually bends down like this. When it bends like this, it almost reflects back. When it reflects back, we backtrack it and we think that we can see the object upside down. So whenever we see the object upside down, these rays, when backtrack, reach the eye of the observer. He sees an inverted image and brain sends the signal that being upside down, there could be water. There is no water and we cannot see the water, but image is upside down. So our brain is sending the signal that since the image is upside down, there must be water. If we want to turn the signal, we use prisms. If suppose we are using optical fibers or we are sending some signals and we want to change the direction of the signal, then we use prisms. So basically we will be covering turning by 180 degree, turning by 90 degree and inverting images. Okay. So if we place a prism in this direction, as shown in the picture, complete 180 degree. The ray that enters from here takes a complete 180 degree out. Okay. A complete 180 degree. That is a complete invert the ray. We place the prism in this way. Such prism is called Porro prism. Okay. To deviate a ray by 90 degree, the light passes through the third, if you want to make it 90 degree, this is like this. This is how we have to place the prism and the signal will become 90 degree. We can turn the signal. And this type of a prism is called periscope. To invert an image without deviation of rays, we want to send, if the signals are coming AB and we want to make it BA. So if we have to do that, deviation of rays, we use a erecting prism. See, this is a erecting prism. This prism is also used in binoculars. Light enters, it is refracted here, it is refracted and again it is reflected back. Okay, and from here refracted again. The incident ray which was on top emerges at the bottom. So inverse AB to BA. I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you.